Hey guys, and welcome back to Rainbow Tarot UK. It's lovely to be here again to do another reading for you. If you recently subscribed, liked, shared, commented on any of my other videos, then a big warm thank you for that. Just to say that today is a general reading. Obviously, you take whatever fits with you, with your story, whatever resonates with you, and just leave the rest behind. It may be that, you might want to look at some of the other piles, or you might want to look at some of my other readings. It's entirely up to you, but just take whatever feels right for you. So today's reading is about, if you got together with your person, if that actually happened, you got together with your crush or with your ex, what would the relationship be like? So that's the kind of question that we're looking at today. So we've got pile number 1, and I'm just going to go with cards for this reading. And this one says self-acceptance. We've got group number 2, and I think this one says truth. And we've got pile number 3, and this one says nurture. So as usual, just take a moment to go for whatever pile that you feel drawn to, whatever pile is calling to you, and that's probably the one for you. So great. So I will see you in your reading. Hi, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the card of self-acceptance. Okay, so let's put that as your first card there. So let's get out the oracle cards and get those, and then we'll have a look and we'll lay out the tarot. So obviously today, as I said, we're looking at, you got together with your person, you actually got together with them, with the crush or the ex, what would the relationship be like? Okay, so we've got self-acceptance. Okay, then we've got a card that says potential at the bottom, and it's kind of quite a dark card. It looks like some sort of volcano or mountain. Okay, and it says potential. Okay. Okay, it's quite interesting. You've got a card, an angel card that says music. I don't know if any of you guys might be quite musical, or maybe music's quite an important part of this connection, or would be an important part of this connection. Okay, so we've got music. Okay, so let's have a look at the tarot cards. So the first one is the Page of Swords. Second one is the Emperor. Okay. Third one is the King of Swords. The fourth one is the Four of Pentacles. The fifth one is the Star reversed, Star in reverse. And and the one that's ending your reading is the Two of Cups. Right, okay, so let's just get a bit of a sense of these cards. I mean, I suppose the first one, we're looking at what would this relationship be like if you actually got together. The first one that kind of would want to talk about is obviously this oracle card that says potential. So straight away, it tells me that if you got together with this person, there will definitely be potential for for a good relationship, for something good to come from it, definitely for something stable and long term, because it says potential. Potential implies that there's a lot there waiting to be tapped into, waiting to come to fruition. And I think that's the key thing in this particular spread, because on this card, although it says potential, it's sort of quite hidden because it's very dark. There's like this little bit of light coming out of the top there that shows that to me that is the potential, but it's not sort of fully shining brightly. And because you've also got this card that says self-acceptance now, so it shows someone climbing, they're climbing up towards to try and reach something, to try and get to the top, a bit like this mountain, to try and get to the top of something, to try and get to the summit, if you like. So it's a sort of a journey, reminds me a little bit of a journey. And also this plant that features quite a lot, this is the Earth Wisdom Oracle deck, is witch hazel. And witch hazel is a plant that harmonizes opposites and sort of encourages the acceptance both of the individual and so the acceptance of yourself and also others. So I suppose a key thing that I'm getting with this, you know, if you got together with this person, is that there's a lot of potential to it for sure, but it would be a journey, if you like. It would be a journey of discovery, and it wouldn't, you know, there would be certain challenges to it. I suppose that's what I'm saying. In order for you to get to that, to reach that potential, to get to that, you know, to get to the top of the mountain, to reach the witch hazel, you know, it's got that kind of feel to it. I'm also intrigued about this music card. I mean, I just feel, you know, what is music? So music is, you know, enjoyment, lightness, harmony. You know, like I said before, the two of you, music might mean something for you and your person in this connection. Maybe it's something that, you know, brings you together. Maybe it's something that you have in common. Maybe it's something that will uplift and enlighten the relationship in some way. But obviously this is an angel card, and it's the angels saying, you know, music is going to help somehow in this relationship. Now, what I see is, so for me, like I say, this kind of, if you got together with this person, it would be a sort of journey, because in actual fact, because you've got this self-acceptance card, I sort of feel that you're probably two quite different people, because your person is showing up here, you know, because you've got the Page of Swords, the Emperor, the King of Swords, so they're showing up as being, you know, someone who is very much, you know, in command, in control, in charge, because that is really what the Emperor is. They're also showing up as very much the archetype of sort of father figure, very kind of boundaried, you know, very much the boss, very much the one, you know, they seem to me like there's somebody that's probably in charge in whatever situation they work in, and in generally in their life, people rely on them. They've got a very strong protective part of their character. They are, you know, like I say, they're somebody that you could rely on and you could count on. They're also, you know, very much, you know, they're very intelligent, because you've got the Page of Swords and you've got the King of Swords. So they're intelligent and they speak their truth. So I would say they're very, you know, they are not backwards in coming forwards with what they are thinking and what they think of you, or what they think of anything. So they are very truthful, and that might at times mean that they can be quite sharp with their tongue. You know, because they've got the Emperor as well, so there's a sort of, in these three cards, there's like a distinct lack of kind of being in touch with their sort of emotional selves, with their feelings, really. So they might be, and if it's a crush situation that you're thinking about, you know, about whether you're going to get, you know, when you get together with this person, what would it be like? Then, you know, in this, you know, while you're still sort of crushing over them or thinking about them, you know, they might not be giving you very much, because outwardly they don't really show their emotions. They're not very emotional, or you know, they're not expressive. So, you know, I can see them being, you know, very bright, very intelligent, very good with information, very good with words, very good at communicating, being very sharp, being very witty. They might be somebody who's very funny as well. Very much in control, but they're very much in control of their emotions. So it means that when you're in a sort of relationship situation with them, it could be a bit of a challenge. And that's why I said before, it might be a little bit of a journey to actually get, you know, to actually untap that potential, because it might be quite hard to sort of like get them to open up with their feelings. It could be that they have learned in life to protect their feelings, that they've had to protect their feelings because, you know, they have maybe had a bit of a tough time. Maybe they've had a bit of a tough time, but, you know, I would say that they are somebody that might be quite tricky to connect with on an emotional level. Just as an aside, you know, if this is, you know, if this is about a crush situation, you know, you're wondering about whether, you know, what it would be like to be in a relationship with this person, because you have the Page of Swords, you know, at this point in time, I do think they're checking you out. This is somebody who's can be a little bit of a spy, who's, you know, gathering information, looking you up, checking you out, that kind of thing. So if it is a crush scenario that you're wondering about, I do feel that this crush is definitely gathering information on you, looking you up, seeing what you like, trying to gain some insight really, but without really making it obvious. So they're not really showing that, but they're doing it sort of secretly. I definitely feel that for sure. We also have them with the Four of Pentacles, which is, again, somebody who is very much involved in, you know, holding on to everything they have, being very, you know, focused on their work, on their career, on the material side of life. Again, you know, so in a way, the kind of emotional side of life takes a little bit of a back seat. So I think if you were with this person, they would be a great provider, they'd be a great protector, they would really make sure that, you know, they looked after you in that respect, you know, and they would see it as their role really to do that and to be the person, the main person that, you know, provides all of that. But it's but in terms of conveying how they feel and being sort of affectionate or showing you, or, you know, that sort of side of themselves is something that they keep very much under wraps. A bit like, you know, this potential which is hidden, that sort of, I suppose, the potential for their love to show itself is kind of hidden to some degree, and that's why it would be a journey, this relationship, to getting them to kind of open up and to express themselves. And that's maybe why we've got this Music card. You know, maybe that would be a way in which that you could, you know, that you could use to sort of help them to tap into that. Maybe that's something that in the relationship you both, because music is also very creative, isn't it? And anything creative connects us to the heart. So I'm thinking like maybe the music side of things would help connect them to their heart, and it would be a kind of like a way in which you connect with each other, you know, through your heart. Maybe, you know, you've got a special song. Maybe you know, maybe they show you in a kind of like a playlist that they give you. That's how they maybe convey that of their feelings, and that kind of grows through time as you let them know. Because I do feel that you are kind of different intuitively. I feel that you are different, that you are you know, you are more open to your feelings, you are more in touch with your feelings, and you're probably expressive, you're probably a little bit more expressive. That might be why you actually have the Music card. This Music card could be for you, because, you know, again, I just feel like you're more creative and more in touch with that. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough and a cold with clearing my throat a bit. I apologise for that. Yeah, so it could be that, you know, the Music card is for you, and that, you know, you have that creative side to you, and you're kind of wanting to bring that sort of creativity out in them, that kind of expressive, you know, for them to express themselves a bit more, for not everything to be so sort of hidden, or so, you know, practical and work related, and you know, like I say, I mean, a great provider, somebody who's really willing to climb to the top, really willing to get to what they want, really willing to give those things to their family, to their loved ones, but, you know, sometimes at the expense of their emotional life. So I think that's how it would be if you got together with this person, it would be a journey towards opening them up, helping you, be teaching them, helping them to open up their emotional side, their feelings, because they do have them. Because the other thing is we have the star in reverse. Now the star normally talks about sort of hope and healing and that kind of thing, but because it's in reverse, it just makes me feel that there might be some resistance from them to that. So again, it's kind of adding to that idea of it being a journey to hit that potential, to get to that potential, because I feel that for some reason there's a lot of resistance. Maybe there's some fear in them to open up about their emotions, and if this is a crush situation, that might be what you're experiencing with them. You know, they're really fearful in letting anything out, in leaking any feelings, even though they are possibly checking you out, finding out about you. But there's something about maybe things haven't gone right for them in the past. Maybe there's a sense of hopelessness for them around their anything that is feeling, anything that is to do with love. So you might come up with some sort of resistance. Maybe they need to heal. Maybe they're resisting healing that, looking at that. Because I do feel in this pile there's definitely a need in this relationship. And I think if you got together with them in this relationship, there would be a route towards them opening up their hearts. That would be the challenge, and there would be resistance to that. It may be if it's an ex that you're talking about, perhaps that was why you split up to begin with, because there was this kind of like resistance to opening up emotionally. It was hard to maybe get close to them. So that's kind of what I'm feeling here. However, what we do have at the end of the reading is the Two of Cups, and that's a very positive. That tells, along with the potential card, it gives me a very positive feeling for what this situation would be like, you know, if you actually got together with them. I think that, you know, with the Two of Cups at the end, you would, you know, the journey would end up in you hitting that potential, because the Two of Cups is a sort of a very beautiful energy of two people coming together with a strong friendship base at the root of their relationship. Obviously, this feels like a romantic relationship. Two of Cups always feels like a romantic relationship to me, but it's a strong friendship base. So I feel if you got together, that the journey might be tough in terms of, you know, the resistances and the challenges that you might face when you got together with them, in terms of, you know, them connecting to their heart and thereby connecting to you on a deeper, more emotional level. It might be that, you know, in some ways, you know, I just feel that the, you know, the relationship would get there, definitely would get there, and you'd get a very heart-centered, loving relationship with a lot of stability at its core, because it has gone through this kind of journey that it's had to go through. But you might experience a few rows, a bit of, you know, some harsh words, some difficulties, some challenges along the way to get there, some hard resistances. Might be a little bit of the healing that you need to do to get to this particular point. But, you know, at the end of the day, this relationship would definitely have potential, and I see that once you've got through all the hurdles that would be there, it would, you know, it would definitely be a strong relationship that would be based on mutual respect and love, and a strong friendship that would underpin it. So, pile number one, that has been your reading. I hope that you have liked it. Please do press the like button. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Please do share it with friends and family if you think they're going to like my channel, if you think they're going to like this video. Please share it, and leave a comment. It's always great to get comments. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two, and welcome back to your reading. So you chose this card, which says truth. Okay, that's the first oracle card that you chose. Okay, so let's get the rest of your cards out and let's see. So obviously today we're answering the question, aren't we? You know, you got together with your person, crush, ex, whoever it is, what would the relationship be like? So that's the first oracle card. What's the next one? Okay, so the next one is stillness. Beautiful image of that, stillness. Okay. Then we've got an angel card. Oh my goodness. You have got soulmate. Soulmate. Wow. So that is that's a pretty good confirmation right there. Soulmate. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring those down because they're sort of next to each other. And again, it's actually quite interesting because if you look at them together, and I will put all the cards before I do a proper reading, but the colours really match, and the two main colours in these cards is purple, sort of lilac-y purple colours, and green, lilac purple, blues and greens. So straight away a sort of heart connection plus, and it makes sense of the soulmate, a sort of psychic, spiritual connection straight away in those two cards. Funnily enough, this woman is wearing a purple gown, and we have a lot of green in that too, and the pink of the flowers, which are actually foxgloves. Wow! So you've got a really strong sort of correlation and connection between these three cards straight away. Right, let's have a look at your tarot before we get carried away. Okay, so we've got, oh wow, Judgment. We've got, gosh, the Ten of Pentacles. The shadow side. Now the shadow side in this deck is the Devil card. We've got the Queen of Swords. Okay, I'm going to put that down here. We've got Three of Wands. And then we've got the Hanged Man ending your reading. Okay. All right. So let's just have a look. So we're looking at, what would it be like if you actually got together with this person? Let's just take the kind of oracle cards first. So obviously, self-explanatory. You've got the soulmate card. So my sense is that if this is a crush or an ex that you're thinking about, in terms of what it would be like to get together with this person or how it would be, I do feel there is a strong bond between you. Even if you're not together right now, I do feel there's a strong bond between you. There's a very strong soulmate. I mean, it's a soulmate connection. You might have lived in previous lifetimes. There might be a soul contract going on where you're sort of due to come together in this lifetime. If it's been an ex, it'll be again. If it's a crush, I do feel there's a strong feeling that this relationship, even though we're talking about what it would be like, I do feel like there's a strong feeling that this connection is kind of meant to happen in some way, because you also have the Stillness card, and to me, this kind of stillness is that sort of the connection kind of thrives, if you like, or it will thrive in a kind of spiritual way. You'll be very spiritually connected. You will have a strong spiritual life together. You will understand, if you like, that there is something kind of special between you. Maybe if you might not be a spiritual person, or they might not be a spiritual person, but you'll kind of know intuitively there'll be something about it that says, and also because you've got the swan as well, and like sometimes they're on the water, maybe there's a reflection of the swan, so it's like two sides of the same person almost. I kind of get that feeling as well, that there's two things that fit together. And swans also talk about, don't they, a swan's mate for life and all that kind of thing. So there's that symbolism going on as well. So for me, it bodes really well. If you got together with this person, it does bode really well. I think it'll be a really good, it'd be a really good relationship. And also you've got truth, so it tells me something that this would be a very honest connection, because foxgloves, which are the flowers that are on this harp, You know, it helps to open the heart and express feeling. That's kind of what the meaning of kind of foxgloves are. So there's something about this connection, if it were to happen, would be, you know, and I do feel in this connection that there is a sort of sense that there, you know, either, you know, even if it's an ex or whatever, you know, it does feel like it is, you know, it is kind of destined, really, in a way. You know, so yeah, the foxglove is about that opening that heart, having that, expressing yourself. So I feel like with this person, you could be completely honest, you could be yourself, you could be your truthful self, your authentic self with them, because also you've got some little crystals in this here. I think they're called Amazonites as well, and they're also about speaking truth. So being honest in this connection is something that would be really important, or is going to be very important, really. Honesty, truthfulness, being authentic, being able to be yourself, you know, being able to play your own tune. That's what I'm hearing, being able to play your own tune, for them to be able to play their own tune, and for it to be harmonious together, for it to work, really. So it has a very strong, you know, feeling about, you know, if you got together with this person, I feel there'd be like such a strong, you know, you'd feel like you'd want to be with this person for life. It has a very strong feeling and connection to it. Now, if we have a look at your tarot cards, if we take these two, so we've got Judgment, haven't we, which again is like a sort of a leveling up, a rising up. So I feel that this, if you got together with this person, it would be like a relationship on a whole new level. It would be, you know, it would be very uplifting for the soul, but also just, it would kind of take you to a different place in terms of being with somebody who understood you and who you understood. Also, just not that, I mean, in terms of Ten of Pentacles, I mean, that is like, you know, really, really, that's everything. That's like the partner, the kids, the house, you know, the money, the security, the stability, you know. So it brings not only a strong spiritual connection and a sort of leveling up in terms of, you know, the quality, that's what I want to say, the quality of the relationship, but, you know, like, you know, it brings all the material benefits, you know, brings a strong, happy family unit. You know, I feel like it would really provide that kind of wish fulfillment in that respect. It would really bring a lot of security, stability, happiness, harmony, family connections as well, and it would be, you know, it would just be a fantastic relationship. However, we do have the devil card in this. So I do think, you know, there is a lot of light in this situation, but I do think there would also be some challenges, really, if you got together with this person, because I think there would be some, you know, some fears, some limiting beliefs, some insecurities, some also, you know, because you've got it right next to this Ten of Pentacles as well. I just feel that somewhere in the relationship, the two of you might lose, you know, would possibly lose sight of, I should say, what is important in the connection. Yeah, whilst you, because you've got this, because the devil talks, doesn't it, about being kind of chained to our kind of baser urges, or chained to, you know, immediate gratification, that kind of thing. So I'm just feeling that somewhere in the relationship, both of you might get a little bit lost in terms of what matters and what's important in the relationship. Then, you know, the devil card can also just talk about addictions, and you know, again, you'd be just going off track a little bit, and going into the sort of shadow side of yourself. So, you know, there might be a little bit of a blip in that. And if this is about an ex that you're talking about, perhaps there was a little bit of a shadow side to it in the past. Perhaps there was something about that relationship that was very difficult and very challenging, and that might be why you had to split up to begin with. But I don't see that lasting. But I do, of all relationships, it would have its ups and downs, and this would be something about you, kind of the two of you just sort of losing track, losing sight a little bit, maybe going that way, and following kind of more sort of baser urges, really, which would take you away from each other and take you away from that spiritual connection. So that's something to be aware of, really. And I see that really it'd be, possibly be more them than you, actually, because here we have the Queen of Swords, and I think that as a result of this, you would have to be more boundaried. You would have to close up your heart a little bit during this period to protect yourself, really. And maybe, again, if this is the next situation, maybe that's what you had to do. Maybe you had to, just shut them off a little bit because, their behaviour was negative. It wasn't doing you any good. It wasn't doing the relationship any good. And you had to kind of close them down or shut them down. And that's what I see you having to do, having to sort of think with your head and not be ruled by your heart in this situation. You have to think of it rationally, logically, think what's best for maybe the family unit or whatever. So this is what we would need to do. And I see you being able to do that. And I see that the situation, because underneath the devil we have the Hanged Man, and I see that this particular person, the person that you're thinking of, would go inward and try to deal with this shadow aspect of themselves, or this difficult part of themselves. They would be able to do that. They would go inward. They know, because also the Hanged Man talks about a sacrifice, so they know that certain things would have to be sacrificed, given up, for the greater good, really, and for them to see things from a different perspective. They know that they need to change and heal, and they'd be willing to do that. So I think what I see in this situation is that this is, got an incredible, vibe, an incredible feel to this if you got together with this person. And I sense in a way that, if it's about your crush or if it's about, I do feel that there's a strong possibility, that you will get together with this person. And also I'm just thinking again, I'm just looking again at the truth, that there might be a need in this moment in time, this situation where they need to be honest with themselves, they need to be truthful, they need to look at themselves in this, when they go through this shadow period, they need to look at themselves and be truthful and honest, and deal with it and deal with it, and heal it and get over it and move on from it. And I think that's what they do, and that's why we've got the Three of Wands, because the Three of Wands is about something. You've planted the seed, you are looking outwards now. You're looking outwards to build something different, to build something new. These Three Wands are what you want to be focusing on now, to to kind of build it up again. So my feeling is that he's got a huge, it's a very, this relationship is, a fantastic, it would be a fantastic relationship. It would have a strong soul connection, a strong spiritual connection, but also a lot of, it'd have everything in a conventional relationship that most people, outwardly would want to make them feel, that would make them happy. It has all of that, but somewhere within that it might get a little bit lost, or they may get a little bit lost, in terms of becoming too sort of fixated on those kind of outward things that make you, or you think make you happy, but essentially they're not what's really important. But you will come, I feel like you will come through it, but you will need to be strong in that situation, pile number 2. You will need to be strong to protect yourself, protect the other people around you. You would need to be strong in that situation. But yes, but other than that, I think if you got together with this person, I think it would be, I think you would have, a sort of a marvellous basis for a really good relationship. You know, but it would have its challenges, but I feel like, you know, you would come through that, and there would be, you know, there's a strong sort of sense of healing in this situation as well. So I think that you know, the relationship would have, you know, a healing element to it as well. Okay, number 2, that has been your reading. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have, please do press the like button. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Please do share it with people that you think might enjoy it, and leave a comment. It's always great to have comments on my readings. Okay, other than that, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3, and welcome back to your reading. Now, you chose the card that says Nurture. It says Nurture on there. A lovely little image of a beautiful young woman playing her flute. I don't know why, but music seems to have featured a lot in all of the piles today. All of them have either talked about music or have a musical instrument in them. So maybe I've just got a lot of people who like music, or are interested in music, or where music, you know, helps them to relax, or they just get enjoyment from music. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. Okay, so that's Nurture. Let's have a look at your other cards. So obviously today we're looking at, you know, if you got together with your person, whether it's a crush or an ex, what would the relationship be like? What would happen in the relationship? How would it pan out? That kind of thing. Okay, so let's have a look at the other oracle cards you've got. Now I've looked. Oh, okay. So we've got an angel card here that I picked, and this says forgiveness. Forgiveness. So we've got Nurture, forgiveness. Oh, wow. You've got love. Oh my goodness, pile number 3. So you actually got the love card in a reading, you know, about love, about, you know, what it would be like if you got together with your crush or ex. Goodness, wow. Okay, what I'm going to do is put that one there and that one there with Nurture. Okay, so it's looking good so far. Let's have a look at your tarot. So you've got the King of Wands. You've got, wow, World. These cards are looking great so far. You've got Ace of Wands. You've got, the Lovers reversed. Lovers reversed. 8 of Cups. Ace of Cups. That's interesting. And then you've got 3 of Pentacles. Okay. I don't know why, but I'm in, and this might not be for all of you, so if it doesn't, you know, if it's not you, then don't worry. But it feels to me like this, in this pile, people in this pile are thinking about, you know, an ex, because we've got this Lovers reversed and the 8 of Cups. You know, somebody walking away from a situation, somebody making a bad choice in a love situation, which meant that they walked away, something like that. So it feels to me like maybe there are some people listening where they're thinking, you know, what would it like if they got back with their ex? But it doesn't have to be. It can also be somebody that you are crushing over and that you like. So what I would say is, obviously, you know, the first thing to point out straight away, you know, the one that's kind of like leaping out in this reading, is that you have the Love card. So, and this is such a beautiful, beautiful image. You know, the reason why I say about that this could relate to people that are listening and thinking about maybe an ex is because when you look at these flowers on this card, a lot of them, like with this one, they don't look the freshest. So it kind of gives me the feeling that it is something that has already, a love that has already had one time, and it's not new, it's not brand new somehow. So but then you've got this much fresher flower coming here, so it maybe has the potential to reblossom So I'm just getting that strong feeling. But anyway, if that doesn't, like I said, doesn't resonate with you, then it could be, you've got the love card anyway. So it does say to me, that if you were to get into a relationship with this person, it would be a very loving relationship, a very beautiful relationship. You've also got, again, like with forgiveness, just again, it says something about, if you got together with this person, there would be forgiveness in this situation. So maybe there's something about, you've been with them, it broke up, and you're thinking, when you get back together again, it would be more forgiving. There would be some forgiveness, or maybe there would be a need for forgiveness in that situation if you got back together with them. But also, if it's not about an ex or whatever, I just feel like this relationship would be very caring, very forgiving, very loving, very accepting. It would really, or there would be a need for there to be forgiveness and acceptance in this situation. We also have nurture, which says there's something about this connection, which is, where you would both nurture and take care of each other. You would both make sure that each other were, was okay, was doing all right. There'd be a strong sense of, a strong love, a love connection where you really care for someone and you really care for, every aspect of them and making sure, that they're all right. I mean, this card in particular talks about nurturing yourself through your body, eating the right food, exercising, relaxing, that kind of thing. So maybe there's something about, in this connection where you kind of are really looking after yourself. Maybe some of you or them are involved in looking after other people, maybe, on a physical level. So maybe you're, maybe you're a beautician, or maybe you're a nutritionist, or maybe you're a therapist, or maybe they are. But there's something about the importance of looking after yourself through your body. And it feels to me that this connection, if you got together, the two of you, that would be important, living a kind of healthy, balanced life together where you really look after each other, look after yourselves, and look after each other. You see that's being really important. So, mentally, emotionally being forgiving of one another, looking after one another. So if you did revisit as a sort of an ex situation, it would be a much better, more balanced, more positive relationship. But if it's a kind of crush situation, then that definitely would be something that if you got together that would be important for the two of you to really look after each other. Now, you can't ignore the King of Wands here, so I do feel that this person is a very passionate person, so it would be a very, and again with the love card, I feel like it would be a really passionate connection with a very exciting physical aspect to the relationship, because the King of Wands is kind of confident, he's out there, he knows what he wants, he's charming, he's charismatic, he's really he's also the boss, he's somebody who's in charge. I feel like he's fair. I always feel like the King of Wands is fair, but he's got a lot of fire. So for me, this would be, if you got together with this person, this would definitely be a very passionate relationship. Again, we have the World card. So it feels like it'll be a brand new cycle for you and for them. Again, something around, if it's an ex situation, this is like a brand new cycle. It's a new cycle beginning. It might be whereby you're thinking about somebody that's, overseas, or somebody who's not necessarily close to you, because you've got that world situation going on. So there's that as well. So maybe this person is not, not really in your absolute immediate vicinity, but you know them, but they live maybe in another part of the world. But there's something about, if you got together with this person, it'll be like a brand new cycle. It'll be like a whole new beginning for the two of you, because we also have the Ace of Wands. So it'll be like a passion, a new beginning, a new start, something, a new opportunity. That's what I'm sensing. It's like a brand new opportunity for the two of you to start something really really passionate. You might actually in this relationship be work partners as well. I'm getting a sense that maybe you work together or you all work on something together, because you've got the Ace of Wands here. So maybe you'll run a business together, maybe you'll set something up together, maybe you'll work colleagues together. But there's something about a work connection here, maybe the two of you, that will be happening in the scenario or in the situation. Now, these two sort of cards here intrigue me, because these are the two cards that made me think that somewhere in this connection it's about an ex. So somewhere in this connection, if it's about an ex, there is a memory of what went on before. There is a memory of what went on before, and I feel like somebody left, somebody decided to leave the connection, decided to walk away from the connection, and it was a bad choice, because the Lovers talks normally, when it's upright, it can talk about, obviously it's the soulmate, twin flame, has that kind of connotation, but it also talks about choices. It talks about choices in love, and because it's reversed, I feel like, and because it's got right next to the Eight of Cups, it's like somebody made a bad choice in love and they chose to walk away from the connection. Or maybe if it's a crush in this situation, there'll be some kind of baggage that they're still carrying on from a previous relationship that they might bring into this one. So there's something around that, this kind of bad choice in love, where they walked away, some sort of baggage that maybe is still, would be in the present situation, would be still around in this situation, and they might need to work on a little bit, and they might need to look at a little bit. And if it's you and your ex, you're thinking about you and your ex and what would it be like. So this would be something where you would need to heal. You'd need to heal this kind of past baggage of whatever went on before. There needs to be a lot of talking about it and kind of understanding of why that happened. Perhaps they or you or whatever went off and was unfaithful in some way, or did something to really damage the relationship before. So there would be something that you would need to heal. But if this is a crush situation, it's something that they need to, that somehow it is in this situation where they need to kind of get over it. So maybe they're bringing it into this kind of this situation. And that's probably why we've got the forgiveness card, because there needs to be a bit of forgiving. If you've got together with this person, there needs to be a bit of forgiveness going on here. And I think it's got something to do, and funnily enough, they're all next to each other, aren't they? So it's got something to do with this, either making a bad choice in love, walking away, maybe choosing someone else, if it was the ex, or they're bringing an ex into the situation that they haven't quite let go of. And so there needs to be some work on forgiveness. If you were to get together, there would need to be something that you would need to do with that. And maybe there'll be a little bit of a wobble, and you might think yourself about whether, or they might think, should we walk away from this relationship? I don't think you will, but there might be something like that would happen in the situation. Because the reason why I don't think you will is because you've got the Ace of Cups afterwards, and you've got the Three of Pentacles. So that tells me straight away that there is love in this relationship. Ace of Cups, love. I mean, come on. There is a strong love, a strong bond in this situation. But there might be this period of kind of needing to work things out, where a lot of forgiveness is required to reignite this love again, to bring it back again, to make it as it was here before all this kind of baggage got in the way of it. So, and that will happen. You will get that back, or it would get that back. It would come about. You would reignite that, but there would be some work involved. You would need to collaborate with each other. You'd need to really work together to keep it going, to keep it on the right track. So that's probably as well why we've got this here. This work card, collaborating, working together. Talking it through, talking it out, that kind of stuff. So, but you've got the Ace of Cups there, and it would, the relationship would survive and it would move forward. But it would, and you'd need to, once you've got over all the passion, Yeah, once you get over all the passion and stuff, like there is in any relationship, you know, that passionate phase only lasts, doesn't it, for a couple of years or whatever, tops, and then obviously there is still passion, but you move into something else. So I think that's what would happen here, you know, because you would have to work through this little bit of baggage that's still here. Okay, so the part number 3, that has been your reading. I really hope that you have enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed doing it. So please do press the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Please do share the video with your friends and family if you think they'll like it. Please do hit the like button, leave a comment. It's always great to get comments. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.